So welcome to another exploration into consciousness with the Earth Nouveau network. And today we have an Imagitation. So it's a practice session to work with the unseen realms. And the topic is the sanctuary of the gods. So whilst we're still waiting for others to join us, we're going to go straight in. And the prerequisite for today was that every contributor here would choose a mythical god for themselves, because we're going to use it to basically step into that energy of that particular god, and then we'll see what we're being told and how we can collaborate with that god. And if somebody is here that hasn't done that, I've got a nice little thing of gods where we can choose from. Shall we get started and just get an idea of what we got? Let's start with Sandrine. Maybe do you want to introduce your companion you want to play with today, and just give us 2-3 sentences of who or he or she is?
Yeah, so my companion is Pan, the great god Pan of the ancient Greek mythology, who in some unfortunate ways is always presented as a demigod, but he isn't. He's one of the really ancient ones that actually received a cult, a really cult following, more than anybody else. He's also the god that created and was the shepherd of time, because of the fact that he was out all the time and out in nature. He was the one who was creating the time, and then became the shepherd of many things, of the liminal, of the flocks, of birth, of fertility, of the shepherd of the dogs of Diana. So the huntress. And then, later on, when it came into the Bacchus status, the Roman, more when things were mixed up with the Roman mythology, he became this lustful creature, in a sense, that was also the shepherd of erotism and having fun and playing around, because he was playing on his flute, keeping it together. And he's a mythical creature in a sense, because he's also half human and half goat, and this has a lot to do with the fact that he's still very much rooted into the earth, because he is an earth, a being from the earth. And for me, why he's my ally and my companion is I did an intentional creativity painting course. And he came out as the one really representing my masculinity within my femininity. And that was really wonderful.
Fantastic. Do you have the drawing with you here by any chance? You could show us?
I have. Maybe I can I share it on the screen?
It would be lovely to see the drawing that you did.
Let me...
that course.
No. What did I do now? No, that was stupid. Okay, maybe I will try to make it work, and you can start.
No worries. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Very good. Let's continue with Jody. And Jody, tell us who you have chosen for today's play.
Well, I struggled with this one a little bit, because I thought, well, I could talk about Hecate or Lilith. And then I was like, well, I don't really want to scare anybody, because those are pretty dark goddesses. So I went with Bastet, which is the goddess of cats in the Egyptian culture. But like most gods and goddesses, every culture has their own version of this. So even the Greeks had their own goddess of cats that was, based on her. She was an important figure in the Egyptian culture, but she wasn't one of the main deities. So it's not like she was Ra or anything. But every household worshipped her. She did have a temple. But yeah, Queen of Cats. Not too much there, except for, a lot of households had cats. That the cats were very revered in the Egyptian culture. That's about the extent of what I know about her.
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks, Jody. Jennifer, do you wanna tell us who you will be playing with today?
Yes, I also went Egyptian. I went with Moat. She's the goddess of truth, justice, and harmony. She set the stars in the sky and regulated the seasons. She embodied the principle of harmony, which is also called Moat. And that was central to the culture in Egypt. She walked with one through life, was present in the form of the feather of truth, which feathers have been everywhere for me lately. And at the soul's judgment after death. She continued as a presence in the paradise of the field of reeds. She's depicted as a woman wearing a crown with an ostrich feather. The word means that which is straight, and the concept of harmony infused every aspect of the Egyptian life. So I liked what she embodied.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. That's Mot or M-O-T or M-A-T?
M-A-apostrophe-A-T.
Okay.
Mot.
Mot.
Matt, you can,
Cool.
tomato, yeah.
Yeah, fabulous. Great. Irina, who have you brought, or who are you going to bring into the circle today?
I actually came unprepared, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't.
Do you want to pick? Do you want to pick one now? Do you got one in your head you could just use? Maybe you work with him or her anyway.
You know, I'm sitting now and trying to define my relations with God. I actually have very strange relation with gods, with little g, yeah, gods, like pantheon of gods. For some reason, I don't want to identify any of them separate them as all together for some reason. And I see it as really, like you named it, play. It's a play.
Oh yeah, it's a play.
It's a nice, show that was played in our experience and became part of our experience, maybe to show us possibility of plays.
Yes.
How to play with life, how to play with possibilities, how to play with, but for some reason it's not my topic. Strangely.
No, it's not strange. I mean, look, so many people have a thing with the God word, you know, and of course the way this is to be perceived is exactly in that way. As a play, we're not making them higher or lower or anything. This whole idea is really something to allow us to play a little bit with the unseen world, work with our telepathy, and just step into different energies. It's almost like playing with our shape-shifting capacities. So what I would suggest for you then, don't use the god, use a mythical creature or a collective, if you don't want to separate them for the purpose of this exercise. You can use any mythical creature or you can use a collective as well.
It's like inside of me, it's so strange, and I apologize for this kind of energy. It's like, in France, when they had period in their history when it was normal not to be in relation with your spouse, but to have some lovers, and that was their life, like shown up, but not who you were really in love with, like soul to soul.
Okay.
And it's kind of like that energy, what I feel when I think about, it's like some of us tired from games, and it's like having swimming pool instead of open ocean or open sea with life going on, and using swimming pool instead of going to ocean. This is kind of like my energy toward this, so maybe it's not my topic. I apologize. It's a nice game. I love it when people play. but it's kind of like not me. Maybe Ivan will go.
Okay, let me say one more thing that might or may not, help you to look at it from a slightly different perspective. What if what we're doing here is really a demonstration of us living in more than just one world and being able to shapeshift into whatever is required at the time for the purpose of assisting others who probably still want to practice in the swimming pool before they get out into the ocean? Would you like to assist in that process? Because I could imagine that your capacities and practice in the ocean could be useful to be considered in the swimming pool to teach people. If you don't want to do this, by all means, there's no pushing.
When you were talking, I was, even from beginning, I was trying to dive to define my point, to define where I am in relation to that. And I was seeing kind like that tiredness from overplaying game and being very careful with stepping again and again, being attracted to
the swimming pool. I get
yeah,
it. No,
yeah.
Look, we're going to open the portal for you back into the ocean, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you so much.
All
Have
right.
a wonderful time.
No worries at all.
Bye.
Say
Bye-bye.
cheers. Bye-bye. Ciao. So, Pan, Bastet, Matt. So I've got Yanus. Where's my baby here? Yanus. So in the Roman mythology, Janus was the god of doors, gates, and transitions. Janus represented the middle ground between both concrete and abstract dualities, such as life, death, beginning, end, youth, adulthood, rural, urban, war, peace, barbarism, and civilization. And he came synchronistically. I just picked him out here. And I thought, Janus, yeah, that sounds good. I've never had no idea who he was. And when I read the description, I thought, well, I've been playing in the cesspool of polarization, duality, and judgment and bias and partiality and all of that between the worlds and everything for so long. And I thought, okay, he can come in and we can see how we can play together, right?
Hey, Martina, can we play with more than one today?
Can we what?
Can we play with more than one?
Of course you can. Yes,
Will
just tell us so we have a bit of an idea who you're bringing in. Have you got another one, or do you want to keep it like spontaneous?
Well, I like the idea of spontaneity. I was going to ask you to pick one of your cards for me.
Cool. Absolutely. Let's do it now, because once we go into the meditation kind of thing, which is going to be, I will be asking questions, and then, someone will step forward. So I'm going to just pick, I'm turning it round so I can't see anything. And anyone has the choice, obviously, to do that too. So this is the one we're going to pick for Jennifer. Oh, it's a collective. And it's the fates. The fates.
Ooh.
Three goddesses
That's
of
a good one.
destiny,
The
moral,
fates.
Moirae to Greeks, Parse to the Romans. So it's the three goddesses of destiny. And the fates were the pitiless daughters of the dark-robed goddess of night, according to the poet Hesiod. They were the three sisters, Glotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who decided the fate of all humans, and some said even determined the destiny of the gods themselves. They were very old, so old that none remembered the time before they sat by a spinning wheel, turning out the destiny of all women and men. Yeah?
Thank you.
I believe that each of the fates had a very specific role, though, didn't they? Like one was like the fates of the past. Yeah, I think each one has a role.
So it was Glotho, the youngest, who sat at the spindle itself, spinning in the thread of life, spinning out the thread of life. Lachesis measured out the spun thread, and the short-threaded Atropos, oldest sister, sat at the end of the shears, sat at the end with the shears. So in Greek, her name meant the inflexible one. She was the inflexible.
Snip, snip.
And indeed she was. Okay, so we have
The
those.
consequent, the one that had consequent, you know, the one that.
The cut. Okay, the face. Jennifer. All right. Anyone else who wants to choose another one?
And I was torn between two. I mean, Pan is my ally because he's just so much inside of me. But I also have Kali Ma. Well, she's the goddess, you know, she's the goddess with, you know, the sticking out the tongue, who's running around on dead Shiva, and, you know, who's cutting off other people's heads.
Yes.
But she's always, I know that you were going to laugh. She's always pictured as the most evil one, but you know, Kali's energy is one of the forgiveness of, you are allowed to make a mistake, which is why she has her tongue out. You know, she's like, I made a mistake, you know, but whatever, you know, I have to trample over it, and I'm just collecting the heads, because what is in your head, you know, it's just your monkey mind. Just cut it off, you know, go without it. And I have to say that since I arrived in this office, I put up 2 pictures of Kali. One is not the one where, you know, the dripping blood thing, because I thought, you know, that theme is not so good when you enter into. And I have to say, she's keeping a really nice energy in this office. So yeah, so well, I like her too. But Pan is my ally. So I'm going to show you my the picture that I was talking about, that I did during that intentional creativity course. It's this
wow,
one.
look at him.
So this is the Pan is coming out. So I'm a Pitta, I'm a fire person, so that's why I was playing with fire, and Pan is coming out of my heart and putting himself on my shoulder, and you know, so the creature of fire, the creature of you know, of lightness, and yeah,
beautiful.
That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks.
Awesome.
Very beautiful. Yes. Thank you. Okay, well, you've got Kali, Pan. Lana, you've just joined us. So we've just, Jane, you want to say something? Yeah.
I just want to make sure that Lana got seen, since she kind of snuck in.
Yeah. So we've got, Lana, listen, we've got Kali and Pan for Sandrine. We've got Jody has chosen Bastet. Jennifer has Moat and the Fates. And I have Yanus. And now we're just going to ask you, what kind of mystical creature or god or energy have you chosen to use for our exercise today?
Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm late. My computer is being a trickster today, so I really couldn't get on. But it's funny that you're asking that question, because I have this book that's named, the heading of mythology. So I decided to open the book to see if I'll come up with a god or some kind. And the first page that opened up when I opened the book was Loki.
Loki.
So I thought,
there you go with the trickster.
That's right. So I'm thinking, as I'm trying to get onto Zoom, I'm like, what the heck's going on? The trickster spirit is very active here this morning. So yeah.
Fantastic. Do you just want to give us 2-3 sentences what Loki represents for you?
Yeah, sure. So in Norse mythology, Loki is a cunning trickster who has the ability to change his shape and sex. Although his father is a giant, he is included among the Aesir tribe of gods. Loki is represented as the companion of the great gods Odin and Thor. Excuse me. Loki, being the Norse trickster god, he is a complex and multifaceted deity known for his cunning, mischief, and shape-shifting abilities. He is both a friend and a foe to the other gods in the Norse pantheon. frequently causing trouble and chaos while he's also aiding them in various situations.
Fantastic.
That's the god that
That's
was
the god.
chosen today.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And isn't it already interesting, for me at least, that we all have chosen something different? Yeah. So we all came up with a different one, you know, so very interesting. So I'm going to set the scene now. So we're going to go straight into this. I'm going to set the scene as it's a Imagitation, which, you know, if you want to turn your video off, keep your audio on, because I will be asking questions, and then we'll take it from there and see. It should all be quite self-explanatory. I'm just wondering if I should get myself some glasses. So give me a second, because I can't see much here. Yeah.
While she's doing that, Sandrine, I wanted to show you one of my oracle decks that I really connect with is like Lucy Cavendish, and she has a Kali card.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
Much nicer
Cute.
image than the real Kali.
Mhm.
But she depicts Kali as from death comes rebirth.
Yes,
So it's a very kind of positive
it is.
card. And she comes up a lot in my readings.
That's good.
Not that I'm a big reader, but like yeah, she's from death comes rebirth. When you're working with her, you're working with the energy of fire and
Yes.
dancing with the mother
Yes.
goddess. So
Yes.
it's a very positive card in
It
the
is.
deck.
Yes. The Kali energy is the one, you know, it's westernized. It's the understanding of that. I mean, look at all the pantheon of the Indian gods. I mean, Shiva is blue because he drank poison, you know. It's like they are all very strange creatures. Durga has like 6 arms, and you know, what else is she doing than running around with her lion, just cutting, you know, everything down left and right, although she's the mother goddess, you see. What it is in a god, it's about, you know, the two sides. It's the living and the dying. This is what we, you know, you are born and you can be certain that you die. That's the only certainty that you have. Whatever is in between is, you know, and that is what Kali also represents. Whatever is in between is the dance. And how you dance it is up to you, you know,
Almost
and you
went with
have to have
Kali.
fun. Hmm?
I almost went with Kali myself today because I enjoy the contrast, right? Sometimes you
Mhm.
have to embody them in order to resolve a situation or to move forward with something. So she has
Yeah.
a lot of potency.
Well, one thing I'm going to say first to that is we're not putting ourselves above or below in limitation or in you know, a glorification of anyone here. This is purely to play with the energies, and you know, choosing obviously one of those mythical, you know, figures lends itself perfectly to really just step into certain roles and play this telepathic game for a little bit and see what comes through us. Because as I said early on in the beginning, the energies at the moment are super, super potent. And we're going from this individualized I am journey now towards the group soul consciousness. And where we are still, oh, now we've got earthy. What is it with you people coming late? Okay, that's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Naughty. I'm gonna send Kali
It's
out
the
for you too.
trickster spirit. It's the trickster
Kali,
spirit.
get on with it. I
Oh,
love
and Lana, I was away when you said who your goddess or god was. Who was it again?
who?
Loki. Loki.
Lana?
Lana is Loki.
Loki. Yes.
Yeah, that's a fun one. He's the trickster.
That trick's the one, yeah. So we're just gonna wait for Earthy to connect, and then we're gonna ask her. So back to the energies, group soul consciousness. This is just what's happening in my world at the moment, to really, you know, having fortified our I am avatar, and, you know, having our healthy boundaries, not from a place of protection, from a place of really interacting with bigger, higher energies now in a group soul consciousness. And as last time we talked about the mirrors are changing, whilst we can almost say duality is sort of shifting within our realms here. there is almost the bigger kind of polarity that is being shown to us. And I think with the veils being lifted now, we really got to pierce through that next level. You know, we've made it into the middle basically, and now we got to just get through the other reflection that's coming from a greater astral reflection and perspective. Earthy, we have now chosen we have introduced our players today. So we need you to give us an idea, who is your mythical figure that you want to invite to our circle?
Not sure why my picture's not showing, but okay, I just tapped in, so I'm going to say Earth Mother.
Okay. Gaia. You're going to play
Mother Gaia.
Cool. Cool. Fantastic. You will find out who is who once we get started with this whole thing, because I'll just ask to bring forth whatever figure they have chosen. So you'll be aware of everyone else's, so not to worry. Let's get started. Since I came in late, can someone, what is Lana saying?
I'm saying, can somebody put the name of the gods down in the message in the chat?
Yeah, maybe
Yes.
Because I'm not familiar with some of the names you mentioned, so this way it's easier.
Cool. And also, again, it's not really how these figures are depicted in the Wikipedia or in any. It's really how they come through you. How do they want to be represented through you in this particular exercise? Yeah, we ready? Okay, so you can just close your eyes. And I'm just going to set the scene here. If you want to switch off the video, you can, but do keep the audio so that we can hear you. And then just imagine yourself sitting in the Earth Nouveau embassy, sitting around our sacred fire, where we normally sit when we come into our Earth Nouveau gatherings. We'll take a few cleansing breaths. And then watch the flames spiraling, the flames in that fire. Watch those flames spiraling to new heights. Now, all gatekeepers, and maybe we can keep it quiet in the background, please. And now all gateway keepers within the group, and you know who you are, please become aware of you holding the portal open to the North Pole. For all species and ancestral energies that are matching the signature frequency of the highest form of love that we call agape here, harmony and collaboration, to join us in the sanctuary of the gods. Be at ease and keep gently breathing as you perceive yourself surrounded by the mist of the most potent and colorful aurora you have ever witnessed. Make a note of the colors. What are you feeling? And the awakening of latent senses that is occurring right now. Take the energy of joy, collaboration into every cell of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Allow the energy in your mitochondria to be sparked to its highest performance levels and use it responsibly for this co-creation. We're now asking all multidimensional shards, parts, and aspects of this group soul consciousness, seen and unseen, lost and found, included but not limited to all four kingdoms on Earth, as well as other planets in this solar system, and our unified, unique soul essence to align in vertical frequency sparks and lengthen them to align all vertical frequency sparks and lengthen them into a horizontal vibration, a long-standing wave, to strengthen and support this group throughout this entire exploration. This will allow us to hold an expansive space for all visitors and contributors and help us remain anchored within this sacred bubble of reality we have just created. So now remember, your fortified I am avatar is fully in charge of the inter and intra communication and organically sets your healthy boundaries according to your signature frequency without any forced matches. So having chosen a godlike mythical figure that you are representing today, I'm now asking you to cover yourself with a sacred and ceremonial cloak of transfiguration and step into your assigned roles. You are here today to represent your God's views, ideas, experiences, gifts, pains, trials, and tribulations, purely from a place of being a human spokesperson that is holding a sacred, neutral observer perspective. And upon completion of this exercise, the connection will be automatically severed without leaving any trace of energy exchange. You may rekindle this bond of collaboration outside of this circle whenever you choose. So, well, who would have thought gods need a refuge too? A sanctuary is a place of safety from pursuit or persecution. Is it a place of union and communion, or is it both? Now, who would like to step forward to share memories? Whoever wants to speak, to come forward, speak out your name, and then just allow your words to flow with ease.
Well, I stand in the place of the traits, not as them communicating through me, but it's showing me like perception, looking. As if an event or manifestation is ahead, but they look back at it, but as it's already happened and they're standing with it. And then Moat is over to the side, holding it in integrity so that it's done without what they show me.
Okay, so you are slightly breaking up today. So I'm not sure I got everything. Was that coming from your energy of Moat or the three fates, or is it just a general? All of them.
It was all of them. The three fates were the ones like standing. You can see it, I'm trying to put it into words. They're standing at a point in time looking ahead and back. And like they bring in something that's going to happen and they look back at it because it's already happened, but they're standing at it from a point in the future. And then Mott's over to the side, holding it in integrity.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Who else wants to step forward and represent? Yep, Sandrine.
So Pan is like, I have this feeling I'm looking through his eyes, and I'm sitting on not on top of a mountain, but in the middle of a mountain. And I know that in the back I have the whole if I can use that word, modern world behind. And in front of me, I'm looking out on the plains of a land which is green, and I don't see any creatures, but it's like this big open land. But I'm inside, there is something that is telling me that all this, and it feels quite heavy and pushing from the back, which is going to overrun this, you know, the thing that is in front. But it is normal that it's going to happen, although I will try in my position as this the guardian of this liminal space to maybe try to keep it still a little bit aback. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there is at one stage it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen, maybe I can try to just, you know, keep it a little bit sustained, let's say.
And is there any indication what's gonna happen, or
No,
is that
it's the general flow that is going to happen. It's unavoidable.
Is this why the gods need the refuge too?
Yes, because this is how they are representing the primal energies. This is how in the mainstream mind they come to an imagery, you know, how to explain an energy. You know.
Cool. Good. Who else wants to step forward and, you know, have a say with regards to safety, using that sanctuary? What are they using? What are you using that sanctuary of the gods for? Union, communion, safety from pursuit, persecution.
An overlap with dual worlds.
What I saw was the only thing I got was like a counterclockwise swirl. Not counterclockwise, clockwise. Forgive me. So it's a clockwise swirl, like, you know, the way you would see the galaxy swirling around. That was kind of what I saw. Now I don't know what it means or what it's trying to say, but that's about the only thing I kind of got from it. And I got a very dry cotton mouth through the experience. So whatever that means.
How's the trickster going to deal with that, Loki?
With the swirl,
clockwise
swirl.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the answer to that is. Still trying to figure that one out. But I also just saw like if you look at the Earth's sphere, and you know how it kind of, when you're looking on the horizon, you'll see like a hill, like a half circle kind of thing. You're kind of seeing, and then right in the middle of that, I saw a door, and that was about it. That's the second thing I just saw.
Cool. Well, let's ask Gaia, Earthy. What does Gaia have to say to that? How is Gaia connected to the sanctuary of the gods?
Mother Gaia is the sanctuary of the gods in herself, in all of us. We are all connected. What Mother Gaia saw was the children of all ages, completely covering the earth, but forgetting to look above and see the messages and the symbols and the signs from above. teaching them how to connect with below, so that all the children of the earth have the above, the below, and the center, and all around about them at the same time. Mother Gaia wanted to remind the children how important it is to always be children at whatever age, and to embrace everything from the dirt to the bugs to the birds to the four-legged to the creepy crawlies to the winged ones. That was what I received.
Beautiful. Thanks, Earthy. Thank you. Thank you. Jody, what is Bastet saying about all of that?
So I have not yet broken through the veil between being able to channel or really communicate with the spirit world. So I didn't feel anything except for more of a sense of comfortableness in my own skin. Because if you think about a cat, they don't give a shit about anybody. Like they know that they are kings and queens, and they sit in that confidence. So I did feel a sense of kind of confidence and comfortableness with myself. But other than that, I didn't get to see any messages, because I don't feel like I have access to that yet. And it is something that I'm working on. Other than meditation, I don't quite know how to work on it. So any tips are appreciated.
Well, you already said something very perfect. Whatever came up for you, it doesn't have to be words. It doesn't have to be, it can be a sense of, can be a feeling or anything like that too, you know, and you're doing it. You know, the thing is, when we sit in that sort of ceremonial fashion, you see, we're not going into a trance or anything. We don't even have to close our eyes. We're just putting our intention and say, hey, we're gonna now just, you know, even the word channeling is sometimes what people puts off, because they think they have to give their body, the soul over and let another entity come through. None of that is required. You know, it's just a sense. What is your body sensing? What is your physical body sensing through the sensory organs that you are acknowledging? What is your etheric body sensing through the etheric organs that you haven't acknowledged yet? You know, and that's perfectly fine. So the best way of piercing that veil is knowing that there is no veil. It's gone. There is no veil. There literally is no longer yes or no. And if you start appreciating that there is no more duality, then everything else starts coming together.
Okay, good tip.
So,
I actually really wish my boyfriend was able to make the meeting, because he would have really liked this. He can regularly talk to Gaia and Thor.
yeah,
that's his god.
Yeah, fantastic, cool. Well, you can still play with him once the recording is out. You can do the whole thing. So I want to bring in Yanus here. Yanus, of course, is, you know, I mean, he's very familiar with all of these chaotic times, and he is an advocate of enjoying the chaos as much as possible, because, you know, after chaos comes implementation. After every death becomes a new beginning. And because of his ease and joy almost with all of that, it's quite simple for him to allow the death to occur. Death for Janus is not a word that he's afraid of. He's like, bring it on. Out creation. Let's get undefined here. Let's get the particle and break it down into the wave. Or the other way around. Don't break it down. Bring it back into the wave. Because once we're back in the wave, then we can just tap into it and create something completely new. Beyond the way of fixing, beyond the way of there's something wrong with me.
And just to come up with, I mean, Earthy just came with the play. I mean, when you look at Pan, that is apparently the play, but I just had this flash inside of me, like all the goddess that we have now in this group here, they all have a very particular sense of play, all in their own way. I mean, the cat is just, you know, the player before the god. You know, she's playing all the time. Loki, I mean, if he isn't playing, he's even playing with himself all the time, you know, and tricking everybody else.
Yes.
Janus, I mean, two faces, come on. I mean, if that is not play, then I don't know what it is. You know, Pan is just sitting there with his flute and he's like enchanting everyone, you know, and Gaia is just like, Gaia is always happy. Just step outside. I mean, the birds are singing, that is happiness. I mean, okay, it's not happiness, it's because but it's you know, it creates happiness in you. You just enter into a room, and if there is a bird chirping, it's like there is something else. It's sound, it's frequency, it's something that is coming up. And also for the fates, I mean spinning, I mean that is also a kind of play that you're doing, and they are playing with life and death, and it's all one, you know. And Moat as well, you know, she also comes in there with the play in a different kind of way. It can be very adult play, you know, how we call it now, or innovative play or quirky play or whatever. But I do actually believe that this is something that we have all missed, the play. We are not playing enough. We are not. I mean, I not disrespecting Irina's play on it, but we are not playing anymore. You know, we all think it needs to be so serious and everything. We need to. No, it's actually in the play where you learn so much, where you can define so much, and where you can understand so much. Which is why, you know, children, they learn, if they play, they know how to be in the end, you see.
Yeah.
That's my position, on that.
Yeah. No, thanks for that. And also, you know, speaking, you know, more on the two heads, you know, of Janus, that is, for me, it's like, there's a song line, and I'm so bad with songs, I have no idea what the title is, and I usually never remember any words, but for some reason I heard this one line, and it was something like, I'd rather live in his world than without him in mine. Yeah. And that just stuck in my head, and I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. Why am I must remember that, right? And I'm actually now realizing, and the more I play and spin that further, it's like I rather live in more than just one world than alone in mine, than in mine alone. And you know, there is no limitation to how many worlds we can live in, how many gods we can play with and embody the energy of and express through, and telepathically pick up information without having a body take over or without any limitation. And also for me, Janus always, I mean, he's not in the background, of course. As soon as I bring him in, it's like, okay, I don't even know you, stay out of it, you know. It's like, you know, you gotta say this, you gotta say this, all right. It's always the flipping the coin. There's always two sides on one coin, you know. So we can no longer just look at, oh, this is negative. No, flip the coin, because it can only be negative, because at the end, can't remember, yeah. Is the positives. And when we start merging these worlds, what we're doing at the moment, big time, we used to live as humans with the knowledge of having a soul. We're now starting to live as souls, expressing through our physical bodies, through our humanity as embodied humans, soul embodied humans. And you know, this might sound, it's just nothing different, but it is something very, very different. Cool. So remind yourself, we're sitting in that ceremony, and, you know, you're all in a good space. And I know Jody has to, unfortunately, leave us. So we say goodbye now.
Go. This was such a great topic. I loved it.
Take the energy with you in your day.
Take it with you, and there's the recording going out, and we see you next week, hey? Thanks for playing.
Bye.
Bye, Jody. So let's get back into our roles here, and just allow yourself to reconnect again with the figures that you've chosen. And, you know, we've said a lot of things already, but just ask them, what does it take to be a good God? And maybe I can just define the good as, or maybe I'll do it later. Just tell me what you guys are saying. And they might just think this is a stupid question. That's good too. What does it take?
Both of mine are like, both of mine. It's like, we are good, but we are not perceived as that, because we represent things that are taboos, or became taboos, although they have never been taboos. They are part of life, of everybody, of being human. We are a representation of this in an imagery form, or in the energy form that we are representing and shepherding, in a sense, in both ways, for Pan and for Kali.
So if we ask Pan and Kali if you could ask them for us, how would they define goodness in the new energy of non-duality, which is a bit of a oxymoron?
Mm-hmm. It's not going against and not going against your energies, not going against the drive that is there. You can, although you're going to be perceived as completely outside of everything, but when you stand in your energy and in that drive, then you're making your point, and you can live and look into the mirror, without fear, without anything, because you know what you're representing, and you go with that. And that is what is bringing you forward and giving you the good energy, whatever comes.
Cool.
They're almost the same thing, just different words. They said, like, non-judgment, that there is no good or bad or right or wrong, there just is, and they all do their job. And then, like, they morphed into, like skeleton figures that were doing this, like, ice skating dance, and they were just showing me, like, the dance between, like, how all things take place and how all things overlap and how everybody has their part and the energies are independent, but they intermingle too. And they showed me the dance.
The dance, I like that. I like the dance. No, Yanus is obviously in his element. This is just his topic. He loves it, absolutely loves it. He's just like, can't even shut up. I think I'm Yanus. I'm really embodying this guy. I had no idea. What comes up is he wants to say this impartiality, that unbiased, non-judgment, all of that. It doesn't take out preference. It doesn't take out the uniqueness of your soul. It doesn't take out a little bit what Pan and Kali was actually saying as well, isn't it? It's that dance, like Jennifer, is saying that everyone has a different step to add. But we're going to hold each other by our hands and teach each other the new dances. So there is the goodness in a non-polarity is not the opposite of evil. Yanus is saying it is a complete, you can't even define it in the old way, because you have to take out good and evil and all that completely and replace it by collaboration, co-creation, out-creation. And yes, there is no fear. There is no fear. And as the fear dissipates, the joy can take place of the fear. And that's when the soul can come through and just play and create. Because that is that movement of the dance and that need for us to get together in a community. And that's the new beginning. We're not losing our I am. We're not losing our ego. No. Because we worked so hard to get to that state where we have a fortified I am. Because the ego, if you want to call it ego, yes, it's an ego. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you breathe as a human body, you need an ego. Not an overinflated one, but a healthy one that takes responsibility for your avatar. Lana.
Yes.
What is Loki saying to the question of what's goodness in this new reality, in this new non-dualistic singularity?
Well, what I'm getting, a sense of what I'm feeling is that he is possibly saying that he's always good at heart, because that's his origin, is good at heart. But when he tricks, it is just his mischievous side coming in for play and fun. And he can sometimes seems like a terrible being, but that's his way of bringing into his reality both sides.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing with both sides, and he's bringing that into those around him. And though he may go overboard at times with his trickster self and being a little overboard with his mischievous side, he is still good at heart.
Cool. Thank you. Earthy, what's Gaia thinking about the goodness in the new paradigm, the one we're moving into? Considering that she's put us there.
As Mother Gaia, yes, as Mother Gaia, to be a good goddess, she holds much respect for all those that walk upon her. She was chosen by the great cosmos to be the mother of all of these creatures, whether they be two-legged, creepy crawlies, wingeds. They all are her children, and she is asked to respect them greatly. Even when she is frustrated, she still respects the fact that she was the one chosen to be the vessel to carry all of this precious energy, all of these precious healers, all of these precious star beings, all these people that are meant to be here at this time because we held up our hand and said, yes, we want to be here. Mother Gaia has learned to respect all walks of life, even when they harm her, knowing that each and every one of these beings walking on the earth will come back once again. The soul will come back, and it will be a completely different vessel, will be a completely different energy, will be a completely different addition to the contrast. And so Mother Gaia, I see the picture of her in the universe looking down with great love to her big belly earth, holding it and knowing that each one of us is here for a purpose and a mission. She waits patiently for more community, for more gathering together with one intention of healing. Not her, because she knows how to do that. Mother Gaia knows how to heal herself, but to heal each other as a like a kin tribe. Like we're all kindreds, and we need to understand that and realize that. That was what I was feeling from Mother Gaia as a message.
Thank you. I think we can safely say we understand why Earth is called Earthy, right? Thank you for that. Now, let's gather ourselves and ask another question. I want to ask our companions here what they have learned from the interactions with us. And make it maybe even personal. Not just with humans, but what have your companions, your mythical companions learned from you?
First they laughed and they said bleeding heart.
Say again. Come close.
First they laughed and they said bleeding heart, but then they said like compassion, that they don't always feel like that emotion that we feel. And then they said that they like the feeling of joy in the body, and they don't get to feel that very often. So having that connection allowed them to feel joy in the body.
Beautiful.
I think mine, because both of them are earthbound creatures. They understand the feeling of, you know, what Jen just came up with. But I think, and this is kind of weird, but it's like not to fear technology, not to be afraid of it, although they are very, they understand that the technology can also help maybe have them back in a sanctuary and being revered in a different way through the connection that can be created through technology, which maybe nowadays is, you know, where do we have sanctuaries for Kali other than in India? Probably, you see. Pan, he's lost, you know, he's lost his shepherdness. He's lost his flocks, in a sense, because of the distorted image that it became. So he's, which is the picture represented, he's sleeping, he's grumpy a little bit, like sad. But he can come back. And through technology, because I saw, due to the fact that I was also researching for that painting course that I did, there are quite a lot of new things coming up, and also digital artists, you know, that are playing around with Pan. And that's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'd almost say, like, I mean, you've painted it with colors, you know, whatever watercolors or whatever that was, even that would have brought that energy alive, you know, and seen it in such a colorful way. You know, what I'm hearing from you is that what they have learned through you personally is that when you start seeing the flip side of what is being portrayed, you bring something back to life that has been dead or not unseen.
Yeah, but it was through the mean of technology. I would not even have, you know, found this course and done this course if it wasn't for the technology that we have put in place. The internet, you know, the connectiveness through a mean that is, you know, pixelating you and, you know, channeling you on the other side of the globe. You see, this is also something that the gods, well, you know, this one in particular is coming to understand.
Cool. Very cool. Have we got Lana? Have we? What is what Loki saying? What has he learned from you?
Loki is being shy. That's the first thing I got. He's being a shy boy. But I think he's getting that he's learned to love more. And the other thing I was getting is that because he's aged because he's, you know, from the past, in a sense, he's acquired more wisdom, more knowledge, and he's learned how to respect others more, and with that wisdom and knowledge he's gained, he's trying not to hurt others in the way he used to in the past. So that's where the learning to love more comes in for him. He's being a better trickster spirit.
Very cool. And Gaia, what has Gaia learned from us?
Gaia has learned from us the treasure of solitude, the remembrance of standing alone in the forest and not being alone because of all the standing tall people. Gaia has learned from us, those of us that walk with the higher frequency are the ones that she enjoys being massaged and touched from the most, and she will come and find us to receive this energy that she herself needs. And mainly solitude just kept like beaconing that even Mother Gaia likes to, once again, what she said was stand alone in the forest and not be alone. We're all connected, every one, single one of us. I've never physically met either one of you on the screen, but every Wednesday, even if I'm at physical therapy and can't hardly get home in time, it's a pull because I feel that connection. That's what Mother Gaia receives from us and feels from us, is that, like I said, the massaging, the touching. She'll, yeah.
Thank you, Athi. Janus, you know, he is impressed with mankind. He is impressed with all the souls that have heard the call, about the determination not to give up, about the loyalty to the cause, despite what happened on this planet, despite all the confusion, despite all the paradox, despite all the reincarnation coming back a million times. And still we've come back, and still we're holding the baton, and still we're working together and not giving up. And that is something that is just something he's impressed by. Good. So let's ask, I've got two more questions here. I'd like to ask our companions here, what advice would they give to humans living on this planet now? And you can make it a personal advice if they have something personal for you, or just a general one to humanity. From their perspective. Well, Yannis, of course, is in my fucking ear there. And he's like, delightful question. All you need to do is lighten up. That's his message.
Said live, enjoy, laugh. It's not meant to be hard. Love, enjoy all the emotions.
Same here. It's just like, just go, you know, just go with the flow, be in it, move with the energy. Don't, you know, don't block yourself with it. It's not, you know, it's not worth the time blocking it away. Just go with it. And if you can at that moment not live with it because it's just too much out there, just let it go. Just let it pass by and catch the next wave.
So Loki is saying, just be yourself and you'll enjoy every moment of every day.
And Mother Gaia says that it's completely okay to at times in life to stand in your path instead of moving forward. Because even when you're standing in your path, if you take the time to look around, you see all of the miracles and the blessings right there. And when it's time to move forward, you will feel that pull in your power center to take the next step forward on your path.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Good. Last question to our fellow friends here. We'd like to ask them for 3 gifts, and that could be a present kind of thing, a word, an energy. 3 things they would bestow on humanity to help us through that transition.
That it's all good. It's all good, you know, it's all good, whatever comes.
Give it a metaphorical representation. What would they give you that could express that? What are they giving you? Let them give you something that you can hold in your hands.
Yeah, I have to go with what is represented in the painting. It's the torch and the flute, you know. The torch representing, you know, the warmth, the hearth, the fire, which is also the colors that I had immediately in mind when you were, it's the yellows, the reds, you know, going with those, and the flute is the play and the seriousness, and the, you know, can be both. It can be fun and it can be serious and can be dramatic. It can be soothing. It can be, you know, the whole emotional range.
Mm-hmm.
And holding the torch, shining the light,
I like that.
taking it away, you know. Yeah.
They said, know that it is going to work out the way it should. You are the creator. Smile more. When you said what they put in your hand, they gave me a compass, a mirror, and a whisper.
What's a whisper?
I don't know, like
Huh?
like you would whisper something to somebody. They whispered into my hand. Maybe that's a secret that will unfold later.
Very cool. What's Loki? What's Loki got for you, Lana?
So the first word I heard was hope, then kindness, and then compassion. And the energy that I was getting was that since he's known for shape-shifting as one of his past qualities, he was including with shape-shifting, he's telling us to reforming, not reform, but reforming, as in what I'm getting is change your thoughts to better way of thinking, and this better way of having your thoughts more conducive to the new reality, that this will cause your appearance, your physical appearance, to reform into a more beautiful you, as in shape shifting.
Oh, cool.
That's what I was getting.
Nice one.
I'll
take that too. Beautification pill. Thank you.
Me too. Yeah.
What's Gaia got, Earthy?
Along the same lines, our words Gaia says, please remember to speak words of gratitude into all water, whether it's water we're drinking, water we're bathing in, or water that's in a lake or a river. Our thoughts, keep our thoughts pure and in a good way, keep our thoughts in a prayerful manner, and our actions by taking shoes off and grounding on the earth and spending that time of receiving and giving at the same time. So words, actions, words, thoughts, and actions are our lives, she says.
Words, thoughts, and actions. I like it. I like it. Okay, well, Janus come in here. He seems to be a little trickster. He's taking over the Loki's trickster role, yeah, because he gives me a grape, one grape. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? And he said, well, it's either sour or sweet, but you will only know when you eat it. So it's up to you.
So Loki's saying, make wine with it.
Well, here you go. That's a possibility.
Or vinegar.
Or vinegar. Both healthy, right? That's the first gift. The second gift is a piece of bread, so that I can drop the breadcrumbs as I walk, if I need to walk back the path, or even I can throw them into the future. I can use, this is it's a magic piece of bread. I can take a piece and throw it into the future, and then the energy will guide me towards that, wherever that breadcrumb has fallen. And the third gift is a box of matches that will never cease to give me matches, so that every time I go into, I can't be bothered, or this is too dark, or this is too tough, I must light one of the matches. Thank you, Janus. I love it. I love it. Cool. Well, I have a couple more questions, but I think we're good. I just, let's just really thank our companions for stepping forward. Thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to communicate and to just practice. This is a little bit of a practice session, how we can use our imagination in a sort of a meditation. And also I think it's a little hint that meditation doesn't just have to be transcendental, where you don't think, where you don't visualize, where you let everything go, even though that's a cool one too. But it's just nice. And also the other thing is, it's got the energy of balance, harmony, collaboration, co-creation, getting together. Because whatever we brought up through our companions might have an impact, not just on us, but also on whoever watches maybe the recording afterwards. How was it for you guys? Do you wanna say anything to that?
That was a fun exercise. I like playing with it.
Yeah, because go ahead.
I was going to say, we communicate with different entities or records or whatever. So this was fun to work with a different energy than I've worked with before.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also like this, it's good to reconnecting to those energies in a way, because we don't do that. I mean, this whole thing about the word, or that codification of God, God, what is a God, whatever. Just look at it, of this representation of that energy, or of those energies, that this entity represents and carries with it. So in a sense, playing around with those, what is it more? Where can I feel comfortable with that? And as I said at the beginning, I mean, since I have those two representation of Kali in my office, I feel, it's fun to have that one. It's like, yeah, interesting. She brings another perspective also sometimes to the table. So yeah, it's cool.
I did the thing, I tried to find words that, I don't know what it's called something, but I can't remember now. It's like God. What does it stand for? There's a word.
Generate, organize, destroy.
Yeah.
That's one of the Kundalini ones, you know, they are using
all
it.
Right, all right. Well, I came up with greatness, omnipresence, and divinity. And if you look at that, we all have that within our human technology. And then even if you want to flip the coin here, and I came up with glory, with false glory, obscurity, and destruction. Well, we're familiar with that too. So we have the goody God and the not so goody God, you know, within all of us. And this is the new way of creating that balance and harmonizing. And you know, it's like looking at the bigger mirrors now, as I think we said it last time, it's like it's no longer male, female, left, right brain, logic, arty. It's now we're moving into above and below coming together. You know, this is what we actually it's no longer having to balance the male female. Of course there will be, but you know what I'm talking about. Like now we got to connect the above and the below. So we have to start thinking about the unseen world and the astral world, because we have to feel safe. We have to become responsible. We have to, in that astral realm, in the etheric realm, as we are merging with our etheric bodies, there's something I wanna at some stage talk about, the sensory perception that we're talking, you know, the 6 senses, the 5 senses, you know, what does that look like on the etheric level? And how many more etheric organs do we have that we haven't acknowledged yet? So it's like, just to take an example, you know, the hands are obviously, you know, a manifestation of our etheric hands. But then when I look, you brought in Kali here, she's got so many hands, right? We could all say that we have, look right now. How many hands do you actually have in the etheric body? So many more, right? And they all look different. And when I look at mine, they one have, you know, 5 fingers, 10 fingers, you know, and then they have tools on it. And my hands are like, whoa, you know, moving backwards, forwards, down, all over the place. But we need to start practicing learning to access our senses, our etheric senses, and start working with them, and then see how we can bring them into the new broadband frequency of the planet. You know, because everything's already happened. So we're working backwards as usual. And lots of the stuff we're already doing, as we're already doing it subconsciously, and we think we need to learn it. And then in reality, we're already doing it. But it's just a matter of, hey, let's spit it out. Let's spell it out so that we can actually, because once it's acknowledged, it's done, it's embodied, moving on. Otherwise, we keep seeking until the cows come home, even if we're already doing it, you know, that kind of thing. There was something else I was going to say to this, but yeah. Oh, yes, that. Something else I don't know.
I just, because when I flew back, I was listening to an audiobook, and it's one of the first book that Natalie Haynes wrote, and it's called The Ancient's Guide to Modern Living. And she takes the, you know, what is the ancient, and she's very much rooted in the Roman period, and what can the old Romans, you know, what can we learn from them for our modern lives? And honestly, if you look at all of them, whatever, you know, the satyras and the emperors and the fools and whoever and the poets and the love songs and everything, there is nothing new under the sun at all. Nothing at all. I mean, the thing that has changed in a sense is our perception, and also the new creativity, and maybe in a sense slavery. But then if you look, you know, that we are paying billions to people just changing football clubs. I mean, if that is not slavery, I don't know what it is. But okay, no, but it's not the gruesome, you know, throwing the gladiators to the lions in a sense anymore. But I mean, look at, again, you know, top athletes, you know, ruining their bodies just to get 15 minutes of fame and getting a gold medal. You see, there is nothing new at all. It's just that even sometimes it feels very good to even go back and read up on the ancient things and read up on these satyrs and stuff from that time, because there is so much more earthiness you know, they're much more rooted, and still they were much more connected to the above and the below than we are, because we lost that somewhere. Because we got sidetracked by all the funny, funky glitter stuff, you see.
And I actually really like that you just said that, because, you know, they had a more of a connection still, and yet they were more embodied here. And it's almost like we have lost our connection, even though we think we are so material and embodied and everything. So there's something that's not really gelling, right? And that also says that if you become more psychic again, more telepathic, more savvy, astral body savvy, you know, doesn't mean that you're not going to function in this reality. It doesn't
Absolutely
mean
not.
You know, and this is the last thing, you know, that needs to be portrayed. You know, we're not those people who want to just disappear from this planet. No, we're going to stay here. We want to stay longer and longer in healthy bodies, you know. So nobody is taking that away, but there is now a level of awareness that allows us to bring our soul essence much more in contact with that, to live in more joy, less work. And when I say work, yes, there's a responsibility, but make work your joy, you know, so that you no longer have to go on holidays. Think of it. You no longer have to go on holidays. You love what you do so much that you no longer have to go on holidays, because your job is your holiday. Is, you know, you don't need to. Your life is your job.
You go with Confucius. If you like what you're doing, you haven't worked a day in your life.
Exactly.
But don't forget also then to take a break from it, you see, and that could be the holiday, but the holiday in a sense that, you know, it's not like, okay, I go on a holiday and I just 24/7 now I'm lying in the sun and doing nothing, which is fine, you know, whatever, do whatever you feel like, but don't do it because you're escaping work, in a sense, you know, to break that off.
But this is the thing. I mean, if you look at in the Atlantean times, you know, nobody went on holidays, you know, or even, you know, we don't have to go that far back.
No,
it has become that limitation, that scarcity connection, you know. Oh, I don't have, how many days do I have? 21 days. Oh my God, I have to make the most of it. The stress that we put ourselves under to have a good holiday, because we only have a limited amount of days, is just amazing.
I mean, my grandparents never went on a holiday. They never had one. Never. So, and that's just like, you know, a generation, 2 generations back, you see. It's like
holy, make your day holy. So instead of waiting for your next holiday, just make your day now holy, in whatever way that is. You know,
holy, like in Indian, make it colorful.
Make it colorful. Yep. Yeah. Amazing. Good. What else can we, is there something else before we conclude today? We can conclude. We've done our say anything you guys wanna still mention before we conclude? A note to leave everyone with? Or maybe let's just do one word. Everyone, just one word, what you got out of this today. And then we're just going to close it like that. One word. Mine is collaboration. And when I say collaboration, I'm talking multidimensional. So it's 2 words, multidimensional collaboration.
Creator. Creator.
Creator.
Connection.
Connection.
I get good thoughts.
Good thoughts.
Appreciation.
Lovely. Cool, girls. Thank you very much for playing. And the recording's going to go out and I'll see you next week.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.